Hi your rates, welcome back. Today we're doing simplifying ratios exercise 6b. Can you please copy down the notes? It's a bit small, but copy them down and I'll talk to you in a minute, do lots of examples for you. Alrighty, so today, so we can simplify ratios. It's pretty common sense. If you've got a ratio, you divide both numbers by the same number. In this case, the highest common factor, that's what that stands for. So you have to look for a factor that goes into both those numbers. If you look for the highest common factor, then you only have to simplify it once. So 5 goes into 15, 5 goes into 25, 15 divided by 5 is 3, 25 divided by 5 is 5. So the ratio 15 to 25 is the same as, or simplified to 3 to 5. Make sure it's in the right order, so the smallest number than the biggest, see? It's the same, it's the right order, and you know you're correct. Good job. For this topic, times tables are essential. If you're good at your times tables, it'll be a whole lot easier. Okay, a few little notes. It's maths convention to express ratios in their simplest form, so 3 to 5. Ratios should have whole numbers only. So you don't say something like 3.5 to 5, if it was that. I'll get to that in a minute. You have to make them both whole numbers. Same as fractions. If you've got fractions in a ratio, you've got to do something to it to make them whole numbers, and I'll show you in a second. And this is very important, ratios must be in the same units. So if you've got centimetres and metres, you cannot simplify the ratio, you have to change them to the same units first. Alright, no units for these ones, so let's just simplify. So we look for the highest common factor. 7 and 21, 7 goes into both. I know my times tables, so I can simplify that. I'm going to write down an equal sign there, so it's nice and neat. 1 to 3. So I've divided both numbers by 7, which is the highest common factor. Excellent. And the next one, you don't have to do it always in one step. So I notice there's a 0 on each end. So I'm just going to, first step, I'm going to divide both by 10. So I get 45 to 20. So I chop the 0 off, essentially. 5 goes into both of those. 5 9s are 45 and 5 4s are 20. So it's 9 to 4. So it doesn't matter how many steps it takes you. It can take you 10 steps if you want, but as long as you get to the simplest ratio in the end, you're good. And the next one, 210 to 24. Chop the 0 off, so I'm going to say it's 21 to 24. And 3 goes into both. 3 7s are 21, 3 8s are 24, so the ratio is 7 to 8. Excellent, that was too easy. Let's go to something a little bit more challenging. Now, the first one. You notice this ratio, I've got the same fraction ratio, I've written it down twice, because I'm going to show you two different methods to do it. I'll show you the way the textbook explains it first. I like my way, personally, but you do it whichever way you want. Okay, so what you need to do, according to the textbook, you need to find the lowest common denominator. So, I can see that both of them could be made into tens. So make this one 10. So just to get that, 3/5 is the same as 6/10. So you double the denominator, double the numerator, so you get 6/10. Times that one by 5, so 1 5 is 5. Now that you've got 10 on the bottom line, what you're really doing is multiplying both by 10 and they cancel. So you just get 6 to 5. See that, everyone? So you can just do it that way if you like. Okay, but what I like doing is something called cross multiplying. So what you do is you get the bottom number here and you multiply it by the top there, and you're going to multiply that one by that. So 2 times 3 is 6, 5 times 1 is 5, voila, you've got the answer straight away. So what you do is you multiply the 2 by the 3 and you get 6, 5 by 1, 5. Make sure you've got it in the right order. Sometimes people do this and they end up with 5 to 6, they get it the wrong way around. Just, you've got to have a think, common sense, which one's bigger? 3/5 is bigger than 1/2. Sometimes it can be a bit tricky to work out which one's bigger and smaller. But that's how you do it. Next one, we've got a mixed number. So before we simplify it, we need to change it to improper fractions. And you've done this one probably in year 7. So 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. That becomes 7 on 3. 1 times 4 is 4, plus 1 is 5. So that's 5 on 4. Now you've got two different methods you can choose. You can either find 12 as the lowest common denominator, and then simplify, but I like my method, cross multiplying. 4 sevens are 28. See there, 4 sevens are 28. 3 times 5 is 15. 28 to 15. There's my ratio. I just have to check, are there any common factors? Does 3 go into it? No. Okay, awesome. So I think that's in simplest form. So you just have to always check, make sure, and then your calculator can do that for you as well. It's the ABC button, but anyway, we'll talk about that another time. You don't need to use calculator, you can use your brain. Alrighty, let's do another one. 0.4 to 1.2. Again, you can't have decimals, you can't have fractions, you need to make it whole numbers. So the easiest thing to do here is I'm going to multiply both of these by 10. And what that'll do, this one will become 4, and this one will become 12. So now we've got 4 to 12, I'll put the little equal sign there. Simplify by dividing both by 4, and you get 1 to 3. Excellent. So this one's 3 times bigger than that one, you can see, and that makes sense, doesn't it? 0.4, 3 times bigger is 1.2. So use common sense, make sure you got the right answer. Awesome. Next one. We said down there, make sure they're always in the same units. So $1.40 to 80 cents. This is in dollars, this is in cents. They're not the same units. So what I suggest you do is you make them both the smallest units, which is cents. So this is 140 cents, and this is 80 cents. So really it makes the numbers the biggest, so the smallest units, so cents. So now we can simplify. I'm going to chop the 0 off, so I get 14 to 8, and I'm going to divide them both by 2, and I get 7 to 4. And that's in simplest form. Always use common sense. Yes, that's the bigger one, that's the small one. Good job. Next one. They're not in the same units, they're in meters and kilometers. So you have to know how to convert. I'm going to leave this one as 800 meters, and this one in meters is 2,400 meters. Excellent. Now we can chop 2 zeros off. So we get 8 to 24, and 8 goes into both. 3 8s are 24, so it's 1 to 3. See those steps there? The first step is always to change them to the same units. Once you've got the same units, you don't need to put units there anymore. It's just 800 to 2,400. There are no units. So all these ratios actually don't have any units at the end, but they have units at the start. But once they're the same units, you can get rid of the units because it's a ratio. And the last one, 40 minutes to 2 hours. So we know this is 40 minutes. 2 hours is 120 minutes. Because 60 minutes in an hour. Alrighty. So now I can chop a 0 off. So I get 4 to 12. And 4 goes into 12 3 times. So it's 1 to 3. See, so follow my processes and you'll be fine. And then you can do 6B. Have a go at question 1 to 10 all. And I will see you soon.